What's up, y'all, and welcome to Who is Derek Andre TV. I'm Derek Andre, and are you raising your ex? Let's talk about it on Totally Disgusted.
This is Totally Disgusted with your host, Derek Andre.
All right, guys, welcome to this episode of Totally Disgusted. I'm your host, Derek Andre, and today I want to talk about your ex. Are you raising your ex? Now, this only pertains to people who have children with their ex, and they are the custodial parent. All right. This is who this conversation is for. And this is also a warning to those of you who are out there being all promiscuous, all willy-nilly, not using protection. You need to pay close attention to this subject matter. All right? You need to listen. So are you raising your ex? So I wasn't sure what my topic was going to be today until I had to go in and clean out my daughter's room. My youngest daughter has moved out. She's flown the coop. She's on to bigger and better things. She's found some roommates and she's living across town. And so her room is empty. And I had to go in there and I had to kind of clean up the room. And as I was standing in there, in the midst of what looked like a dumpster fire mixed with debris from a hurricane, I thought to myself, am I raising my ex? Am I raising my ex? So, my ex-wife was not the best housekeeper. And that is as nice as I can say it. She was not the best housekeeper. She had some other good features for who she was. She was great with, teaching the kids. She was a former educator for a little while, and she was good at like teaching the kids and, showing the kids how to do stuff and things like that. But as far as cleaning up, that was not her strong suit. It just was not. Okay. And so we divorced. I think it was 2009. By 2011, I had custody of our daughter. All right. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother episode of why I ended up with custody of our daughter. But I did. I ended up with custody of our daughter in December of 2011. From 2011 to the present, the one thing that irritated me the most is the one thing that my daughter and I have butted heads about for the last 14 years. Cleanliness. And I thought to myself, as I was standing in this room, realizing that this is some bull, I said, am I raising my ex? Everybody has certain genetic qualities, certain genetic features Some are better than others. And when you and this person get together and you guys build a relationship and you become a couple and you decide to procreate and you make a baby, those genes are going to intermingle. All right, they're going to intertwine. All right. And so if you and this person decide that you're going to make a baby and you stay together, the intermingling of those genes, you see the intermingling? The intermingling of those genes does not really matter because the person who you are intermingling those genes with is also a part of the rearing of said child or children. Okay? So that means that as this child or children, as they grow older, the things that are genetic flaws or genetic wins, you both get to experience. You both get to experience the good parts of the gene pool and the bad parts of the gene pool together. That's what happens. You guys get to experience that together. So if you and this person get together and you guys get married and you have kids and that person's still kind of messy, well, guess what? They get an opportunity to live with that genetic deficiency. They get a chance to witness what it's like to live with themselves. All right. So they have to raise themselves. They have to be the part of, they have to do the part of what their parents did trying to raise them. So they have to experience whatever that flaw is. If it's, if they snore, you know what I mean? If they are kleptomaniacs, whatever that, they are in the same house with you and the child or children, and they have to be a part of whatever that weird gene is that creates, that creates whatever the issues are. On the flip side of that, if you and this person decide that you're going to procreate and your genes are co-mingling and you're doing all this other stuff and you make a baby and you break up, well, whoever ends up being the custodial parent is going to have to deal with not only their genes, but the genes of their ex. Hence today's video. I don't think it's fair that for the last 14 years, I have had to deal with the clutter of my child. I don't think it's fair, man. Her mother has gotten the opportunity to be scot-free of all the responsibility of dealing, because I'm organized. I'm organized, man. That is so if you know my mother, you know me, then you know my mother. You know my grandmother. You know my daddy. You know we are organized. We may have a lot of stuff, but it's going to look behind me. This ain't just for this podcast. This is who I am, man. I'm organized. I like my things to be in a certain place, in a certain way. I'm organized. But my daughter, as much as I love her, is not. And that was the thorn in my side about my ex-wife. I know that there is going to be some mothers that are going to watch this video and be like, damn right. Damn right. You know, I used to always say, if you have a baby with somebody and y'all break up, the baby gonna look just like your ex. So that means you're gonna have to look at that dude or that girl for the rest of your life looking just like your ex, getting on your nerves with them same qualities. The same holds true with genetic characteristics, genetic qualities. Whatever it is that irritated you about your ex, if you end up with the baby and you end up being the custodial parent, that is what you're going to have to deal with for the next 18 years at minimum. That ain't fair. That ain't fair. If your ex got some jacked up genes, if these was my genes, ain't nothing I can do. I can't be mad. I can't be mad. I'll just be like, yo, this is just, you know, it's just who she is. You know, this is me. You know, I just got to deal with it because, you know, I've been this way all my life. But when it is not, your genes and you still got to raise them, oh my God. It's like you did not get away from them. It's like you're still right there with them. And it's usually not just that one thing. It's usually the thing that irritates you the most genetically. It's usually the facial features. It's usually the attitude. It's going to be it's like you still are involved with them. It's like you still are in a relationship with them because you got this baby now and you raising this baby. Oh my God. Are you raising your ex? You thought you got away scot-free. You thought you dodged that bullet, didn't you? You thought you were able to get away and not have to deal with no more of that nonsense, but I'll be damned if the genetic police didn't say, pull over. You are now sentenced. You are now sentenced to 18 years or however long it is. If y'all broke up when the baby was young, it's going to be 16, 18, 22 years. If you weighed the baby, however long it is till that child is grown is what your sentence is. Raising that child with your ex's jacked up genes. That ain't right, man. If you're a single parent, mom, dad, whatever you are, if you're a single parent, let me know in the comments, man. Let me know in the comments if you are feeling what I am talking about. Let me know in the comments if you feel it is inevitable. You don't get the good parts of that person if you got to raise the child. You always get the bad parts. You don't get the good parts. And if you do, it ain't nothing that, to write home about. You get the stuff that was driving you crazy in the relationship. You thought you was free. If they arrogant, your baby gonna be arrogant. Now you got to deal with this arrogant ass baby. If they mean and moody, and you got a pleasant attitude, you're gonna be stuck with this mean, moody ass baby. You're going to end up raising your ex. You can't get away from it. That is why when you decide that you're going to settle down and you're going to have a family, y'all need to stay together so that they can taste the poison toxin of who they are. Them bad parts. I mean, it ain't fair that they get to go home and go to bed at night. It ain't right. Whatever it is that annoyed you about your ex, if you end up raising that baby, them characteristics are going to stalk you like the murderer in the horror movies. You know how in horror movies, no matter how fast the person trying to run to get away from the killer. They running. They ain't falling or nothing. They just running. And look behind them, the killer right there. That's how it is when you break up with your ex and y'all got a kid or kids. God forbid, y'all got multiples. Glory be to God. If y'all got multiples and you end up having to raise the multiples, that means that you're going to have to deal with not just one version of your ex. You're going to be dealing with 2, 5, 8. Oh my God. That just ain't even fair. And they at home watching Netflix. They got them a new boo. They ain't And here you are, stepping on Legos in the middle of the night. Arguing with your kid because they don't want to follow the rules. They want to break curfew because that's kind of old crooked, crazy mentality your ex had. Anything that was wrong with your ex is going to be what's going on with that kid. It is inevitable, man. You can't avoid it. You can't avoid. Why is that, God? Why do you do parents like that, God? God said, don't be blaming me. God said, I told you that you were supposed to stay with a person. You supposed to take your time, pick you a mate, stay with them so that y'all can raise them kids together. Didn't nobody tell you to go out there and be all freaky deaky, dirty birdie, and then you end up with these babies. And now you mad because the person you made the babies with, they're gone about their business, and now you stuck doing the dirty work. God said, don't blame me. That's what free will is all about. Free will is making a good choice. Free will is saying, you know what? Before, we can go through all the motions of making a baby, but let me make sure that 1, we gonna be together. 2, let me look and see what kind of person you are. See, that's what be happening, man. People be going out here, they be getting together with these folks, and they don't really know who they are fully. It don't take but that long to make a baby. You can make a baby 100% accidentally. That's why you supposed to take your time, figure out who this person is, because you don't know what the relationship might end up. You might be in love for 10 years. That 11th year, all hell break loose. Y'all fall apart. You got to go your separate ways. Somebody gonna end up with them kids. That's why you got to take your time and look and see who you getting involved with. Meet their family. Meet their mama, their grandmama, their granddaddy. Meet their uncles and their aunts. Meet their other siblings. Listen to them conversations. They gonna tell you who this person is that you done got involved with. And if you think that it might be just a slight inkling that it ain't going to work, don't you make no baby. Because if you make a baby and you end up having to raise that baby, every single thing that them family members was trying to tell you was wrong with their kinfolk is going to be your offspring. And you are going to have some very long, frustrating, annoying nights, and they going to be at home chilling by themselves or with their new boo thing, doing whatever it is that they do, and you gonna be at home pulling your hair out, male or female, because there's some dudes out here that end up with custody of their kid just like I ended up with custody of mine. It ain't always just the women that get the custody. Sometimes the dudes, the daddies, get the custody too. I ain't no babysitter. I'm a daddy. So when it was time for me to get custody of my daughter, I went and got her. And I brought along all the issues and situations that came along with her. And I dealt with my daughter for 14 years. Part of which I was a single dad, but me and my wife, we've been holding it down, man. But the things about my ex that irritated me came right along with the package. Right along with the package. If you grew up in a single parent household, I bet if you ask your mama right now, or your daddy, depending on who raised you, I bet if you ask him, what irritated you the most about me growing up? And whose characteristics was it? I guarantee you it's going to be whoever the absent parent was, whoever the parent that was not the custodial one, whatever you was that get in your parents, be that thorn, it was going to be from whatever that other parent was. It was going to be, if the other parent had addictions, guess what you're going to have to deal with raising that child? You're going to have to deal with some addictions. It may not be drug addictions, but you're going to have to deal with some addictions. Whatever the quirk is about that person that got under your skin is what you're going to have to deal with. I'm telling you, you better choose wisely. You better choose wisely. You better pick the person you're going to make a baby with wisely. Because if you stuck raising that child by your damn self, hear me, everything that annoyed you about that other parent, now that y'all ain't together, is going to be who that child is. Ask your mama, ask your daddy. It's like that in the household. If you in the same if you in the household with both biological parents, the same thing. But at least, hear my voice crack. At least the other parent is there to have to deal with their own. Because you can send them to the, hey, you know what? Go. I'm not dealing with this. Go in there with your mama. I'm not dealing with it. Who you talking to like that? Go in there with your daddy. Because that's his mouth. Oh, no, you didn't clean up. Oh, I did not tell you to clean up that kitchen? Oh, you don't want to clean up? Okay, you know what? That's your mama's character. Go in there with your mama. Go tell your mom you ain't cleaning up the kitchen. You can send them to that other parent. But Lord knows, you don't get that luxury when you are the custodial parent. You are the custodial parent. That falls on your shoulders. You get the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly is always going to try to shine through. Now, having said all of that, this also gives you an opportunity to try to work with your child or children early on to get those negative traits and characteristics out of them. To kind of tamp them down, to kind of, spray water on the dust so the dust. This is your opportunity. Because you really, if like I said, my daughter is not the neatest person on the planet. So I have spent the last, and I mean the last 14 years working with her so that she does not take those characteristics out into the world. That's what my goal has been. Because that drove me crazy about my ex-wife. So I don't want my daughter to be that to somebody else's son. You know what I mean? So I have spent the last 14 years raising my daughter to kind of get rid of those traits. That's what I've been doing. So that she does not have to drag that into the world and put that on somebody else's child. So if there's any bright side to it, the bright side is that now you have a chance to work with that child to deal with whatever those issues are without having to feel like, okay, you know what? This ain't getting no better because here your ass is. Because sometimes it might be that, you and this person stay together and y'all try to do y'all thing, raise this child together, and they just make it worse. They don't help the child. So maybe maybe you raising a child by yourself is an opportunity for you to kind of sift out and weed out those negative traits and characteristics. So maybe that's the high side to it. Because I've been working with my daughter for her entire life on cleanliness and organization. And there's a part of me that believes that all of my hard work ain't going to be in vain. I believe that. I could be wrong, but I believe that. I'm hoping that when she gets into her new space, all the years of me working with her and saying, hey, you can clean up, you need to vacuum, you need to do this, you need to wipe this down, you need to put this away. When you walk away from the table, you need to get your dishes up off the table. You need to make sure you wipe the counters down after you do this. All of those things, I'm hoping that all of those things that annoyed me about her mama, she will not take out into the world and annoy somebody else's son. That's the high side to it. That's what I'm hoping will be the silver lining in the dark cloud. That's what I'm hoping will be the whole purpose of all of this is for me to have been able to work with my daughter and stop that genetic, what's the word I'm looking for? Genetic deficiency in its tracks. So that it don't carry on. So that when she decides to start a family, maybe, just maybe, she'll teach her kids how to be clean and neat and organized like I had to work with her to get her to that point. You don't want another generation of whatever was wrong with the kids. You know what I mean? You don't want another generation of messiness. You don't want another generation of nasty attitudes and kleptomaniacs. You don't want another generation of that. So maybe the silver lining is for parents like me that have to raise their children and deal with their ex's crazy quirks and genetics. Maybe, just maybe, the silver lining is we can be the ones that put a stop to the madness. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. Maybe our positivity and uplifting and encouragement, is that snow? Oh, hell no. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. I'm getting sidetracked here. So I could see out my window, and I swear to God, it looked like it's snowing outside in Georgia on November 10th, 2025. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's either snowflakes or it's ash from a volcano that erupted. I don't know what. I'm hoping that this is just going to be like a couple minutes worth of flurries and it's going to be gone. I'm trying to wake up to no snow. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Maybe the silver lining is that you get a chance to help your child grow out and leave that genetic deficiency where it laid. You can help them move on and grow up and grow out of that phase and become the whatever the type of adult that they need to be. Maybe that's what the silver lining is in all of it. Maybe that's why you have to raise your ex, so that you can weed out all the crazy stuff, so that you can weed out whatever it is that might make their life a living hell. Maybe that's our purpose, y'all. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why we have to raise our ex and our children to help them to have a more fulfilling life, to help them weed out whatever that negativity is that cursed y'all's relationship all while they was growing up. And if that's the case, then I guess raising your ex is actually worth it. All right, y'all, that's my show for today. That's my show for today. If you enjoyed the show, man, please leave a comment. Give the video a thumbs up. Share it with some friends, especially if you are new to the channel. I'm trying to grow my channel. So if you are new to the channel, man, thank you for stopping by and hanging out with me and listening to the show. Make sure you subscribe. It's cool to listen to the show, but I need you to subscribe. If you can subscribe and click the reminder bell, you'll never, ever have to miss another video. And just give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment. Share it with some friends. If you are a returning viewer, man, thank you for stopping back by. I appreciate you. You know, you didn't have to do that, but you did. And I appreciate you. And I hope that you will do the same thing. I hope that you'll share, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. You know the spiel, man. I hope that you'll do the same thing. If you enjoy my work, my content, if you enjoy what I do and you want to learn more about me, all you got to do is go to DerrickAndre.com. And you can learn everything you want to know about me. You can learn about my books because I'm a self-published author many times over. You can learn about my apparel. I have clothing brands, 2 of them. I have Bum to Billions, Breaking Unhealthy Mindsets. That's Bum to Billions, all right? And that's my more upscale clothing brand. I got handbags for the ladies. I got skirts and dresses. I got hoodies. I have T-shirts and all sorts of things. And every image that you see is a photograph taken by yours truly. I have autographs, which is more of a graphic tee. I do have on a shirt up under here, but I was cold, so I put on this hoodie. But yeah, I got hoodies. I got all that stuff, man. Music. The music that you hear in the background, that's my album, Experimental Volume 1. I am slowly working on Volume 2. So I got some things out there, man. There's articles out there about me on the website. So yeah, if you want to learn more about me, then by all means, check out my website, DerrickAndre.com. All right? All right. So that's the show for today, y'all. That's the show for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a new day and a new show. Not sure what tomorrow's topic will be, but if you tune in tomorrow, you can find out as soon as I go live. All right? All right. That's it, y'all. I'm not going to drag this out no longer, man. I love y'all, man. Be peace, be love, be one. I'll see you in the next video. I'm going to hit you with this DATV promo, the outro, and I'm done. Peace. Wait, hold on. I got to clear. Okay. This is what I need. Okay. All right. Now I'm done. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to Totally Disgusted. Make sure to like, comment, and tell a friend.